Morning, everybody. It's Julia from Tree of Life. Feeling buzzing today. I just read Matthew 24, where Jesus talks about when he's coming again. How wonderful. And I was getting that yesterday as well, singing, Lord, come. I was a bit weary yesterday, but I feel much more alive today. So thank you, Lord, for your joy and your peace and your loving kindness that's better than life. And that's what I was pondering on. Our pastor was preaching on let's not be nice Christians, and part of me was wondering about that because in my book, like him, and also Raised Up, I'm really focusing on loving kindness of God and the kindness of God. And Heidi Baker, once in Jerusalem, I heard her preaching about love. The love of God is a key to the authority of God. And I wrote that in my new book called Raised Up, which is on Amazon, all about resurrection life. And I really do know that is true. However, niceness is kind of the weaker, it's a weak word, isn't it? And it's almost like a counterfeit of this loving kindness, this powerful loving kindness of God. The loving kindness of God includes God's discipline as well, because God the Father disciplines those he loves. So it's in that. But also kindness is kindness, and it's a very powerful weapon of war, if you like, because there's no law against loving kindness of God. The enemy can't do anything about it when it kind of stops people in its tracks as well, or when the enemy's like battering down people, this kindness comes in and reverses everything that the enemy's done. I've seen it time and time again. Even at work, I used to work in IT consultancy, and someone, in fact it was my employer, was continually quite difficult sometimes, and making me feel small actually, and I wasn't confident anyway really, but I was getting more and more confident, but then I was bashed down quite a lot, but psychologically and emotionally. So what I did was be extra nice. I'm not going to use that word nice. Extra kind to this lady, showing the love of God. He also said lady now. Showing the love of God in different ways. Really, I used to give her a gift. I remember a big Easter egg, for instance. An extra kind. Let's not use the word nice anymore, because I think nice is an English thing. So it's almost like this counterfeit of the true love of God. So let's just be careful. And I think there is a place for niceness, but in everything, from the tree of life, of knowledge of good and evil, you have the ability of the word or the attribute to be either for good or for evil. But we're drawing from the tree of life. That's what I'm talking about. We're drawing from Jesus himself, and his loving kindness is better than life. God's loving kindness is better than life itself, and that's what we're drawing from. And it's not a weak thing, it's a strong thing. It's very, very strong, because it's who God is. It's the very heart of God, the very Father heart of God. Yeah, so let's actually qualify what we're saying and doing. It might not be nice, but it's actually out of a place of love. So yeah, and we need to check ourselves that we are working out from that source of love as well. So yeah, just thought I'd share that. I am really excited about Raised Up. I think I've been on here lots of times, so I'm not going to apologise, but it is amazing. God really helped me with it. That's why I say it's amazing. It's it's upside down. It's it's a book about with resurrection stories, true stories from people. Mostly in the Western world. There are some true stories from Russia and from Africa, I think there's a couple from this, yeah, but lots of them from actually the UK and the States and the Western world. And I was trying to actually encourage people in the Western world that yes, it's still happening. It's like when you talk to people about angels, they don't. There's in the England anyway. There's lots of testimonies about it. If you start asking people about resurrection life and I don't like to use the phrase near-death experience, but actual death experiences where people die and then they come back from the dead. And science is trying to explain that away, but they can never explain resurrection because it's actually a supernatural happening, a spiritual happening, which this book is all about. And it's actually from God, all lots and lots of biblical quotes, and it's all about the Bible, really. And like Lazarus being raised up, Jesus' resurrection itself, there's so much to learn. The fact that Jesus told his disciples that he was going to raise from the dead. There's a whole chapter about resurrection retold and resurrection foretold and resurrection retold, those resurrection stories in the Bible. Elisha, Abraham, and what resurrection meant to Abraham, because he did believe in it, and it was accounted to him for righteousness, that he had the faith so much to sacrifice his own son, but God provided so that he didn't have to do that, as with Jesus, his son, God's son. And also explain about the end of time, the first resurrection and the second resurrection, which took the longest for me and which still I'm learning about, because it's the book of Revelation, which is, yeah, there's so many interpretations and it can be interpreted in different ways. But I've chosen to keep it simple and kind of show a pattern that you could that you can consider, because none of us knows 100%, but I've put forward a theory and a pattern that you could, that many scholars believe, but some of them don't believe what I've written. But I that's what I believe at the moment. But to be honest, it's developing and growing as I get closer to God and know the Bible more. More revelation is given. So it's very exciting. I believe I've tried my best to write down that which is on God's heart and in my heart about it. So it's wonderful. First resurrection and the second resurrection. Let's focus on those things. They're powerful. Lots of love. Bless you.